Check. Check. All right. Ready?
Mm-hmm.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? Oh, no. Why did I do that? All right, ready? Stop. Ready? Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's your boy, Barry Darius.
And your girl, Esther Darius. And this is
B&E's House,
where we establish fun, fulfillment, and foundation in your life and marriage. And today, what are we talking about, babe?
So today, we're going to be a little practical on them. Today, we're going to talk about
That's why I got these glasses.
Sharing the same goals.
Okay.
Yeah, I see you got your glasses on.
It's a teachable moment.
All right, ready to learn.
Ready to go to school.
All right, you got your pencils, got your notebook, everything? No? It's all in the noggin?
It's all going to be
all right, cool. All right, so sharing the same goals, because sharing the same goals as a couple, especially as a married couple, is very crucial to a marriage. What are your thoughts? What would you say about that?
First, what I'll say is, if you like this video, please subscribe. Second, I will say that I think it's important for us to have goals in our marriage. And the first example that comes to mind is that recently, Barry and myself have been watching Married at First Sight, and the show is so interesting.
Wow. And
very interesting. But what I realized is that though the experts match them up, and they're supposed to be matched up by their core values, I believe that some people go into this and they don't have the right motives and their intentions are not right, and sometimes it makes it difficult for them to meet the other spouse halfway in order for them to have a general goal for their marriage. So I feel like some of those marriages do not go well because of the miscommunication and because of the intention and because of the motive. So therefore, I think if two individuals who want the same things come together, they will be able to establish goals. And they'll be able to go towards it together.
I agree. And, and that's exactly why we're, having this segment, is we want to be able to have couples to share these goals.
Come on now.
And, that kind of brings me to mind, individuals or couples that we know who, you can kind of tell that they don't, quite have the same goals or share the same goals.
Yeah, or they may have not even talked about it. It's not their fault. They just did not talk about it. They didn't know it was a topic.
And you can tell that it hasn't been established because you can just see the miscommunication, and even as well as like there seems to be no focus towards anything. Right.
And sometimes I think what happens is that we're on default mode, and we get married. I know sometimes for us women, we desire marriage so much that it becomes a destination.
Right.
And then now after marriage, we feel like we've arrived. But then we don't realize that there's a journey afterwards. And we still have to find the targets that we're trying to reach.
And I'm glad you said that, because the same thing that you said about women, I think for us men as well, sometimes, when we get married, we, focus so much on providing that we just work and work.
Right.
And we don't realize that the work actually starts to overshadow, the marriage and the kids and the life under the household.
Right. And I guess those two ideas just means that nothing gets done and nothing is being worked towards.
And nothing is being nourished.
Right.
Yeah. And nothing is growing, and you start to reach a plateau and things start to become stagnant. So we want to be able to ask the question to couples, to kind of challenge them to ask themselves, do we have the same goals as a couple? Do we have a purpose? Have we realized our individual purposes so that they can come in alignment with one vision, right? Because, when you think about, a household or organization or whatever, they have one vision. They don't have two individual visions, right? Because that's what it's called, division, which is two visions. Do we have the same mission? Do we have the same goals? And so, you know, those are kind of the things
and also
that
purpose.
Right, I mentioned that,
so that's
purpose.
really good.
So, you know, we want to be able to make sure that, you know, these couples are taking these things into consideration.
Right. Do you think it's important to have like a mission statement in marriage?
Of course, you know, and let's kind of break down the definitions, right? Purpose is simply the existence of a thing, the reason for being, for like the existence of a thing, the intent of a thing, right? And the vision is kind of like the movie theater that plays the purpose out, right? It's kind of like a preview. It helps you to be able to see beyond the present circumstance, to be able to see the ultimate purpose of a thing, right? The mission statement is basically the general statement that kind of gives the desire of what it is that you want to accomplish. It's not as specific as a vision, right? So we could have a mission statement of we want to become financially free. But what are the specifics to that, right? Do you want to be able to establish streams of income to be able to provide generational wealth? Do you want to Do you want to be able to, you know, start something that helps the community out? Like, what is the vision towards that? And goals, a goal is simply a target. A goal is an objective, you know, and you want to be able to establish individual goals to help you to establish the ultimate vision, the ultimate purpose. Right?
And goals are always at these little small moments of accomplishments.
Right. And so you know, that's how I would kind of explain it to those who are asking that. And you know, I want to be able to help, you know, those couples who probably have not gotten to the point of establishing a goal. Right.
So then what would you think, I mean, what would you let them know about how do you do this? Like, why is it important? Like, how do I start a goal?
What do we do now?
You know, one of the first things that I would tell a lot of couples is, first and foremost, you want to sit down together and have that conversation. Have the deep conversation, being able to figure out, you know, what is it that you want? What is it that you want for your marriage? What is it that you want for your kids? What is it that you want ultimately for your household? And how is it that you guys plan on facilitating, you know, those principles that you establish, those goals that you establish, and how are you going, you know, to go about to, you know, accomplishing them? Right?
I see that.
So what would you say to, you know, couples who are, you know, who's having a challenge with that?
Write it down. I am very big on that. Even the Word of God says that. The reason why I say write it down is because at least you have something to go back on.
Right.
It's easy for us to say into the air, we will be millionaires. Okay. But it's not written. And then
that's a nice thought.
And honestly, when you write things down, there's a little bit of accountability because now we both sat down and we're making this, like, imagine we're like notarizing it between each other.
Okay. Deal.
We're saying we're going to work towards this. And don't be afraid to dive deep, because one thing we're realizing is that no one, or you may have not had this conversation. So this is all new to you. So you may be assuming you guys both want the same things, and it may not be true.
And I would also challenge you guys to, you know, really, you know, try to go into a deep level with this. You know, don't try to, you know, stay at the surface level, but really try to go into the you know, details as to the things that you want to be able to establish. Right? And that's the key word, is establish. Right? You don't want to just jot things down and then you walk away from it, but you really want to establish it in the marriage. You want to establish in the minds of the children, and you want to be able to have the whole spirit of the household to have those goals and principles.
I have a question. What happens if we have a goal, but then it kind of just diminished over time because we've gotten so busy? So
right,
what
you
do?
know, like the job has gotten hard, the kids have gotten louder.
Right.
Right? And, you know, just...
It's not your fault. Some people just get busy.
Life
so
has
what do you
happened,
do?
right? And so, you know, one of the things that I would encourage these couples is, you know, the 3 R's: replan, revisit, and replenish. Right? It's never too late. It's never too late to accomplish a vision. It's never too late to accomplish a goal. It's never too late to continue towards the fulfillment of a purpose. Because remember, purpose is the reason and the intent of a particular thing, which means that the purpose has never died. It's never ended. So you still have the opportunity to fulfill that purpose.
Right. For example, like us, what we do is that we write it down. So
we write a lot of stuff down.
We hold each other accountable. And even just recently, we went back and we looked over what we wrote down.
Yeah.
And we replan all the time.
Yeah.
Because let's be real, we have to be realistic. When you're writing the plan, you don't know what's gonna happen.
No,
so we definitely be reading some stuff and be like, what happened? It didn't happen the way we wanted, but it's okay. At least we know that we've done it and we're able to go back and talk about it. And some things that we wrote down, we always kind of plan around like finances, faith, spirituality. We have like goals that we have like for physical, like, you know,
health, right? Entrepreneurship,
business. So it's like we have different categories that we try to take time to talk about. And even though some are individual, he has what he wants and I have what I want, we always make sure that we talk about what we want together for the family and for the future.
Exactly.
And we definitely have had those moments.
And one thing to kind of help with couples is, even though we have our individual goals, our individual visions, but those goals and those visions come under one ultimate vision, right? I could say for us that one of the things that we definitely want to be able to do is share knowledge and wisdom,
right?
Which is what we're doing right now, right? And you know, that's kind of one of our main goals together that we want to be able to fulfill.
Exactly.
Right?
So then that's why I say write it down, because now we're actually doing it. So with that being said, we went through purpose, vision, mission, and then goals.
Oh, girl, you get a what? 4 out of 4. That's an A.
You see them glasses?
That's an A.
I was listening. I was listening.
A+.
You really did help me, because I was listening to as you said. I was like, all right, purpose. I got it.
There you go.
But the one thing that we want you guys to take away from this situation and this conversation is, yes, we all want #marriage goals, but we actually have to do something to obtain them.
Actually have them.
Right. So the one thing that we would definitely agree on is that we believe that you should definitely have common ground.
Yep.
You should definitely have compromise.
Yeah.
And you guys have to be willing to take the time to listen.
You have got to listen
to one another and meet each other halfway. Don't ever feel like one person's goal is more important than the others.
Yeah.
And I think if you just take the time to be like, hey, babe, what is it that you want for the family? Maybe they never even heard someone ask them that question before.
Exactly.
So I think walking in the right goals is just the same as walking in the right
And with
purpose.
that being said, I personally want to challenge and push all the men to initiate this. Initiate this.
Initiate the conversation.
The men,
guys.
I firmly believe, you know, we are the head of the household. So if we are the head of the household, that means we have to be able to establish a vision for the household. So I challenge you, men, to initiate, you know, having that conversation, having that dialogue, coming together, having that common ground, like you said, and be able to establish the same goals.
Amen.
For the benefit of the marriage, for the benefit of the family, for the benefit of everybody.
Right. Like, at the end of the day, it's all about making y'all look good.
Exactly. Exactly.
We look good together.
Exactly. Exactly.
So, I think that's it. Anything else, Barry?
That's it. That's
all right.
it. You know.
So we're gonna close out, but thank you guys so much for watching our videos. We want you guys to continue to stay tuned with B&E's house. Right now, we feel like we're walking in one of the goals that we set, and we want to make sure that you're doing the same.
Exactly.
So join B&E's house, join our little YouTube
Subscribe,
family,
subscribe,
and then please make sure that you stay up to date with all the things that we have coming your way. All right. See you guys in the next video.
All right. See you guys. Peace.